digital refers to a way of doing business. And if you look at all modern technology is inherently digital. It's basically based on ones and zeros. And so what I think is important is the application of these modern technologies to business. So when companies talk about what is digital in that context, basically it's using modern technology to evolve your business model or to drive customer revenue or to take cost out of your business. And so if I look at financial services companies across the Asia Pacific region, they're basically investing mostly in interacting with customers through channels. So the investments in the last 3 to 5 years have been very heavily focused on building mobile applications, building personalization into websites, getting data to do campaign management and to offer capabilities and products out to their customers.
For us, really, digital is the era in which we're living in right now. It's far more than technology and it's far more than a marketing phase. It really is the era in which we're doing business. And so the way that we look at digital is really across three different topics or three different areas that we focus on. The first is digital transformation, and it's really helping businesses to use digital technology to really fundamentally challenge their business model and how they conduct business. Second is really looking more at digital marketing, and for us that's a lot to do with customer engagement. How do businesses use digital technology in order to better engage with their customers? And then finally, we talk about digital at the core. How do we use digital technology to improve business processes? How do they improve efficiency within the business? So really kind of getting to the nuts and bolts of the business in terms of the impact on financial services. Certainly there's been, the push has been in the retail side of financial services has been where a lot of investment has been made, but we're starting to see far more investment now within wholesale banking and in fact other areas of financial services into insurance, pension, superannuation, etc.
So if I look at digital investment in financial services and where it's most obvious, in the last few years you've seen growth in the mobile banking sector of like 1,000% depending on the bank that you're looking at. So you've seen a very heavy move for customers banking on mobile devices to the extent to which some of the banking executives that I talk to in the Asia Pacific region are actively considering a day in the future where they may not have a web-based internet banking offering. It may completely move to mobile, so you have 100% mobile banking in the future.
I think that clearly a lot of the investment has been in the retail space, and mobile banking is undoubtedly where a lot of the focus has been. What we're now starting to see, though, is banks are investing heavily on the wealth side of their business, particularly in tools that can facilitate relationship management. So we're seeing a lot of people invest in workbench tools to support relationship managers out to their private or wealth-based customers. We're also seeing that the influence of digital that people have traditionally seen through the retail channel is now being taken into the wholesale channel. So we're working with a large multinational bank here in Singapore who are really looking to redesign completely their business, their transaction banking portal. And that's driven by businesses expecting to have the same sort of customer experience that they would have traditionally seen through a retail channel and not compromising that because it happens to be a business-to-business relationship. First of all, it's an interesting question, who should own digital? And what I like about the question is that every one of the roles that you've just described begins with chief something. So automatically we're saying that this is now a senior problem or a senior opportunity, and certainly digital now has a seat at the table in senior level discussions. Interestingly, when we talk about a chief digital officer, we see that as potentially being a temporary role. So whilst now digital is becoming something where a specific skill set is needed, and that skill set should be represented at the director table, at the boardroom table, over time we think digital becomes such a core part of business that a chief digital officer role may actually not be relevant anymore, but it will just be fundamentally what the business does, and so that role would be embedded in IT, in marketing, and in fact in business leads within the business. What we're seeing as being successful now is where digital investments are driven by the business as a business decision, supported by and enabled by both IT and marketing. We're seeing less traction, less success when it's a purely IT-driven initiative.
I think what's really important is different organizations will have different cultures, they'll have different leaders that have been in their roles for a different period of time. So basically what you want to do is have the senior leaders that have the ability to get things done leading the charge around digital, but then they also have to be working together. So I think it's important that the chief marketing officer, the CIO, the COO, if there's a chief digital officer, they're all working together in conjunction, aligned to the strategy of the organization around what they're trying to do with the customer. Because this all ties back to the customer. So there's no right or wrong answer around exactly where the digital charge should be led from an executive standpoint, as long as this group of individuals are all working together aligned to the right strategy.